Hi students, welcome back to class. Let me continue Act 3. So let's start Act 3. I've already begun Act 3. So let's see. Let me start with Scene 3. So in Scene 3, we can see Faze entering as a captain. So in the previous in the previous scene, we have seen the decision of Faze to meet Surly, and he sends a message that he wants to meet Surly at Temple Church. So Surly also decides to meet him. So here he goes to meet Surly at the appointed time and at the appointed place. He goes there, but he does not meet Surly. Instead, he meets a Spanish count. So this Spanish count is Surly only. Surly has decided to come in disguise so that he'll be able to know more about the treachery of Faze and Subtle. He just walks around the temple church for some time, but he does not meet anybody there. He comes back. He comes back to the house and he tells Subtle that he has not met Surly. So he has been waiting to meet Surly, and he wants Surly also to be duped because he has seen that Surly is not convinced with their explanation of alchemy. So Surly has a lot of doubts about alchemy, so that has already been observed by Subtle and Faze. But Subtle feels a bit disappointed that he has not been able to meet Surly, but that doesn't matter now because Faze has already met another person, Spanish Count. So that will be a new customer, and this person will be giving them a lot of money. So Faze has already convinced the Spanish Count that this is a good place, and if he comes here, his desires will also be gratified. So he has persuaded Spanish Count to come to their house, and so he will be a new client for them, and they'll be able to make more money through Spanish Count. And he just tells this to Doll also, because Doll is the person who will be gratifying the desires of others. So as far as pimping business is concerned, Doll is the one who will be giving them more profit. So he tells Doll to be ready, and when Spanish Count comes, and she should be ready to gratify his desires. So to make herself clean completely, and to perfume herself, to see that she behaves very well with Spanish Count, and she'll be able to squeeze out all the money he has. So that is what he tells Doll. So Doll is very confident. Doll is a prostitute, so she knows how to play the tricks of a trade, and she'll be able to attract Spanish Count, and she'll be able to seduce him completely, and by the seduction she will squeeze him out. So that is what Faze and Subtle think. And so Faze is happy that day because that's a lucky day for him, and Faze says that he has already received a lot of money that day. He speaks about 10 pounds from Sir Epicure Mammon, then 3 pounds from Dapper, the lawyer's clerk, Portuguese gold coin from Drugger, the tobacconist, and 100 marks they have already received from Anabaptist, and about to receive. So, and then they can expect more profit also. At least each person's share that day will be around 40 pounds. So this is heard by our Doll, and Doll is very happy with that. So and now they think that no, with this things they'll be able to bring more and more persons, and if every day is like this day, so they'll be able to get more profit, and in that way they'll be able to make a fortune for themselves. So the this enterprise is growing very well, and it's sure that they'll be able to make more and more money. And Subtle wants to sell again the metallic objects brought by Mammon. You have to remember that these metallic objects are brought by Mammon to be converted into gold, and the same things are sold to Anabaptists, that is Tribulation and Ananias. In the name of orphans goods. So they have already bought this orphan good. They have taken an estimate of these products and they have given them 100 marks. And with the same product, Subtle is now trying to sell to other persons so that they'll be able to make more money. So this is how they do the people around. They know how to convince people with all kinds of lies and they are trying to deceive. And Face gives him an assurance that it can be done by with the help of Drugger, because they can force those things on Drugger. Drugger has a hope that he will be able to marry the rich widow, and if he marries rich widow, he needs more money, so he'll be able to take care of the house with the money he gets, and so this products can be converted into gold. So with the same thing, the Drugger can be forced to buy this metallic of this. So in that way, they'll be able to get more money from Drugger. So from each person, by hook or by crook, they try to get more and more money. That is what they have been doing, and that is what they plan to do in future also. Meanwhile, a knocking is heard on the door. So Doll just looks through the window and she says that it is the Dapper the clerk. So Dapper the clerk has come, and if you remember the Dapper the clerk, he's the one who has come for an attendance period. He's the one who has to get victory in victory in gambling, and then he has to go to horse coursing, and he has to get a lot of money through that way. So he is the one, and meanwhile other two persons also have come, Abel Drugger and Castle. They are also at the door. So Dapper comes first, and after that we can see these two persons coming. So this time we can see 2 or 3 customers, at least 3 customers at a time. So they know how to manage with these 3 customers at a time. So they are learning the tricks of the trade very well, and they'll be able to manage it well. So let's come to Act 3, Scene 4. And here we can see Subtle addressing our Dapper. Okay, Subtle addressing Dapper, and so before that, actually, Face only meets Dapper, and Face tells that this Subtle is trying to request this Queen of Fairies, and it has already been said that Dapper is the favorite child of the Queen of Fairies. So Queen of Fairies is Dapper's aunt, and then this Queen of Fairies will be ready to give him more favor. So Subtle is now pleading for the case of the Queen of Fairies. So very carefully and very diligently he has been trying to do that. So that is what Face tells. So after that we can see Abel Drugger coming, and Abel Drugger is followed by Castret. So Dapper has a wish to see Queen of Fairies. So it is mentioned that Dapper can see the Queen of Fairies. Only thing is that he has to wait for some time. He'll be able to see the Queen of Fairies. And we can see Abel Drugger and Castrel coming. I have already told you there is a young man who wants to know the art of quarreling, and this young man is Castrel, and he has a sister who is a rich widow. That young rich widow, otherwise the rich young widow, and this person is the one everybody wants. So Castrel comes, and so Abel Drugger brings Castrel also. So the moment Face sees Abel Drugger, he asks for damask suit. So damask suit is again a suit of silk fabric. A suit made of silk fabric. Damask is again a kind of fabric only. It's a kind of silk fabric from Damascus in Syria. So he asked for this damask suit. That's a costly suit. So Drugger is not able to bring the damask suit immediately, but Drugger says that he has brought tobacco. So good quality tobacco. He brings whenever he comes to this place, he brings good quality tobacco. In that way, they'll be able to get tobacco also. They can sell it or they can use it. So they are minting money in different ways. So here we can find Face speaking to Castrel. So Face is in the guise of captain only, and Face starts speaking to Castrel. And Castrel wants to know whether this alchemist, that is Subtle, will be able to help him in the art of quarreling, him to learn the art of quarreling. And Faye starts praising the skill of Subtle, and he'll be calling them doctor, doctor. So whether any such wonders are made possible with the help of the doctor. So that is what he wants to know. So here Faye starts, flattering. He starts boasting a lot about Subtle's merits, and so Castile comes to a point. He just thinks that whether it is true or not, and he even asks whether he's deceiving him or not. So I mean, in that kind of an exaggerated statements he'll be giving. So at least sometimes we can see the sense of or the mind of Castile working, but still Castile is carried away by the flow of talk by Face. So here he says that everything is possible with our Subtle, that is the doctor. The doctor can do wonders with the art he has, and he just says that he's an so when he asks this question itself, our Face says that Castile seems to be a new person in the town. If he's not a new person, I would have known about Subtle. And so here, Castile says that he knows about some angry young boys of the town, and he also wants to be like them. He wants to learn the manners of the angry young boys who come to the tobacco shop to buy tobacco, and how they show their anger and temperament and all. And after that, he wants to go to countryside and live there. So that is what he says. So as far as the art of quarrel, that is duel, duel, dueling, or fencing, you have learned in the drama Hamlet. So as far as that is concerned, as far as dueling is concerned, as far as fencing is concerned, the doctor, that is Subtle, will be able to instruct him even with the minutest detail. So he has an instrument also, a kind of device he has, and with the help of this device, he'll be able to know how far the quarrel has advanced and what kind of a turn has to be taken and how it has to be proceeded. So he will be able to make the person, the user, understand how it is going, how this will go on, and whether he'll be able to get success, and how to get success through this device that will help him to win success, the art of quarreling. And so how it should be handled, whether the quarrel should be handled in a straight way or in a circular way. So what are the angles through which it can be adopted. So from these explanations itself, we can understand that how unconvincing his answers are. How they can cook up any kind of story, and they can tell n number of stories to other persons. So that is what we can find out. And by the help of this instrument, one will be able to know whether the opponent is again a liar, and how the opponent can be called a liar, and what should be the way to react if the opponent calls this person a liar. So all those foolish descriptions he will be giving, but Castile is convinced with all these things. He does not have any doubt about the device which can help one person to know the art of quarreling, and to know how far the quarreling has developed, and how to prevent it from being danger, prevent it from bringing danger. So all those things seem to be convincing to Castile. So here, Ben Jonson portrays a gullible personality, Gullibale, gullible, who is again who can believe things very easily. So most of the characters in this drama are gullible personalities. So he is actually pointing out the follies of these gullible personalities. And here it is mentioned that people in the country, or sorry, people in the town are learning a number of theories of the doctor. And so even in the eating houses also they discuss all these things. So eating house is a word that Castile cannot bear, because he thinks that that is a place where gambling goes on. If anybody goes to that place and starts gambling, there is a risk of losing all the property he has. Castile has already introduced that he is one of the richest one of the richest members of the Castile family, and he already has nearly £3,000 as an annual income. and he is not ready to risk the amount he has. So now Face is just trying to tell him that uh, that is there are many people who have a huge fortune. There are people who have even twice or thrice the fortune of Castile, and they have risked their lives at the gambling table. I mean, even when they have ruined themselves at gambling table, they know how to live with the bits, with their intelligence. So that is also there. So the fortune Castile has is not much compared to the fortune other people have. There are many people who have survived this kind of a ruin at the gambling table. So that is also what he says. So that is there is something our Castile has not heard, and it's unconvincing to him. So he just points out to the person near him, that is Dapper, and he says that Dapper has only 40 marks a year as annual income. He will be inheriting 40 marks a year only. But very soon, Dapper will also become rich because he will be given an attendant spirit, and he is the favorite of the Queen of Fairies, and he will start getting victory at the gambling table. And very soon, he will be the chief guest. He will be the most important person at eating houses. There will be a separate room for him. There will be all the provisions for him. All kind of good treatment will be given to him. Even the most favorite item, so that will also be given to him, and he will be allowed to have meeting with this most seducing women, and to enjoy with the seducing women. So all those things will happen to the life of Dapper very soon. How it is going to happen? It's going to happen with the help of the spirit he's going to get, and this will be the effect of the doctor's alchemy. So I mean, doctor will be able to bring a lot of prosperity to Dapper. So just look at Dapper, who is going to be rich and who is going to be well acknowledged in the society. So that is what he says. So Castile again has a doubt whether he's trying to deceive him. So he just asks a question: Are you trying to? I mean, do you not gull none? Okay. So that is what he asks. So here he says that no, he's not going to deceive anybody. He's not deceiving at all. So these are the facts which are proven, and so that is what he says. And Castile is thinking that okay, Face is sincere only, and so here he just asks a question whether doctor will teach him all these things. Doctor will teach him all these things. That is also for sure. And he says that there will be a time when this land will not be of much demand, and people will not be bothered about keeping the landed property, and they will be enjoying their amount money with all these things, and they'll be getting a lot of profit in other ways. He speaks about a magic mirror which will be helping him to find out the commodities he requires. So in that way, actually, he'll be speaking about one thing or other. So Castile is, I mean, almost impressed with the talk of Face. Then and another thing is that this subtle, that is this alchemist, the doctor. Okay, so this person will be able to arrange matches for young men and women. Okay, the rich matches, especially the most successful matches, will be arranged by doctor. So the moment he hears this, he thinks that he can go and get back his sister. So let him bring the sister, and he tells the brother to bring the sister. But again, Face himself tells Castile to go and bring the sister. So they'll go, and Face will be Drugger leaves, and Drugger will go back to get his sister. Then there will be a meeting. And here we can find a small conversation between Face and Drugger. So Face, Drugger, Dapper, these three are left behind on the stage. And Castile will be leaving. So here he says that, Drugger also will go along with the Castile. Before that, there is a small information about Drugger's ailment, how doctor has given advice and medicines to Drugger's ailment, how he has felt that actually the stomach pain, and even for the stomach upset, the doctor has given him some suggestions and medicines, and with that it is cured. And one woman also has given him some cure, and that also has triggered his pain, and he speaks about actually the drugger's ailments one after the other. So but the point is this: Subtle has helped him. Okay, and so one after the other, these ailments are mentioned, but Subtle has helped in the treatment. Now we can see Castile going back to bring his sister. Drugger also leaves along with the Castile. And now Dapper, there's a small meeting with the Dapper and Face. So Dapper is already asked to bring, more money, because this money should be distributed to the fairies, to the assistants of the fairy queen. And poor Dapper, he has already brought 120 shillings. That is start dating from the reign of King Edward. Okay, that means King Edward's money, currency that he has given. So 120 shillings, that is 6 crore. Okay, so that is what is mentioned here. And some currency during the period of Henry the VIII, that is also mentioned here. And some currency during the period of Queen Elizabeth and King James. So whatever that he can bring, whatever money he can bring, he has already brought, and that will be given to Face. Okay, so he is made to believe that that will be distributed to the fairies of the or the assistant spirits of the Queen of Fairies. And she has some more coins from during the rule of Queen Mary and her husband Philip. So even that will also be given. So whatever he has now, that is now looted from him. And after that, we can come to the next scene, Act 3, Scene 5. In Act 3, Scene 5, we can see Subtle disguising himself as the priest of the fairy queen, and he starts talking to Face. Okay, so he just comes here, and so here he just asks whether this person, that is Dapper, has come, whether he has done all the things he has been told to do, whether he has poured vinegar in his ears and in his nostrils, and whether he has washed the tip of his fingers with the vinegar, and whether he has washed his eyes completely, whether he has worn a clean shirt. So all these things will be asked one after the other. And so our Dapper has done all these things, and Dapper has worn a clean shirt. So after wearing the clean shirt, and after doing all this hum and buzz, and cleaning all the sharpening all his senses, he has come here, and he is now asked to. That means he will be given the wishes of the Queen of Fairies. And it is mentioned that the Queen of Fairies has a special liking for Dapper, and she is actually given a piece of the garment of a petticoat, and this should be tied on the eyes of Dapper, so that he will be able to see her. So in a way, Dapper is blindfolded. Okay, this is a trick to blindfold him, just by telling that this is a piece of the undergarment of Queen of Fairies, that is Fairy Queen, and that should be like a scarf over his eyes. So it should be wrapped around his eyes, and that will be a way to please the Fairy Queen. So in that way, he'll be blindfolded. So he's made a complete fool in all these ways. So he is gullible, and he believes whatever these people say is correct. Okay, so that is what he thinks. And we can find that atmosphere has to be brought here. So poor Dapper is blindfolded, and Subtle and Face are there, so they are playing their games on him. And Dole, from the other room, she's given a signal to play music, and Dole will play music. She'll be playing on the lute, and the music is there in the background. And Subtle and Face, they just start speaking in a language, in a strange language. And here it is mentioned that Subtle will be just speaking the sounds like ti 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 ti. So that is the sound he says, as if our Fairy Queen is talking to him. And we can find Face also speaking ti 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 ti. So here poor Dapper thinks that Fairy Queen is talking to him as ti 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 ti. That means not just Fairy Queen, all the fairies also have come. It's not Fairy Queen, the other fairies have come. They are speaking to him in this a strange language, TTTT. So he is happy with that, and the thing is that these two persons start pinching Dapper, and they say that Dapper has to give up everything he has, to throw away everything he has. Then only the Queen of Fairies will be pleased with him. So he has a few currencies on him, so that will be thrown one after the other, and so even the ring he has, so the poor fellow is looted completely. So one after the other, all the things will be taken off from his body. And he says, they say that they again pinch him, telling that something else is there on his body that is not given. And finally, this poor man says that there is one thing that is left on him, that is a half crown, and this half crown is given by his sweetheart, and the sweetheart has deserted. Ever since the sweetheart has deserted, he has been feeling very lonely and painful. And after that, he's been keeping this half crown with him as as a token of love. And he is reluctant to give this half crown, but he has no option, so he gives his half crown also. So the poor man is completely looted. Everything he has is again taken by both Face and Subtle. And so it is, and now they have to dispose into some other place. So because they hear knocking at the door, so they just look through the hole. It's clear that look through the window. It's clear that Mammon is there. So Face just goes to the door, and he speaks to the keyhole and says that Face will be coming very soon. Just wait for some time, because Subtle is because Mammon has come for the second time to have a meeting with the our doll. So that is the intention of his coming. So here Face talks to the keyhole, and he says that Alchemist is there. Okay, the doctor is there. So let him be away for some time, and then he will let him come in. So he just tells him to while away his own time for some time. So meanwhile, they'll be able to manage this Dapper, because they have already looted him completely, and now they say that this Dapper has to wait for our Fairy Queen. So before he has to wait for Fairy Queen, and then they say that Fairy Queen is having her dinner, and she is now eating a dead rat and gingerbread, a piece of gingerbread, and this gingerbread they are now ready to give to Dapper, and they actually stuff his mouth with the gingerbread. So gag, that is the word gag. So they gag Dapper, and that is Subtle and Face, both of them gag Dapper, and they send him to a private room. So poor Dapper is made to believe that he can see the Fairy Queen after waiting for some time. Okay, so that is what happens in this act. So in this act also we can see all of them, Face, Subtle and Doll, all of them duping these characters in one way or other. So here things seem to be unconvincing, but they want to make money, they want to have the profits. So because of that, they are shown as very gullible creatures. So here Ben Johnson is pointing out that these people are more to be blamed than the cheats, because in every society there will be cheats, and we'll become a prey to all these things by our own desire, our own greed. So if we actually take the and take this instance of Mammon. Mammon comes again and again because Mammon wants to get more and more money, and he wants to enjoy sexual pleasures. He cannot control himself. That is why he comes at frequent intervals. So the next what is it? He has come just now in this act to have a meeting with the doll. So Face is a person who knows to manipulate anybody. He is very talkative, and he knows what to be said and what not to be said, and very clever and a cunning kind of person. And he is the one who brings more and more people to the place, and so he is able to dupe others, and of the three actually we can find uh, face as more cunning, and he has more wits, so that is what we can see in the play. So we have completed act 3, and in the next class I'll be taking act 4. So act 3 we have actually seen the progress of their deception, how far they have cheated Dapper, Drugger, and how they are going to cheat Castril, and now we have not yet seen the rich young widow, so she'll be coming in the next act. So that is how things are proceeding. So with that, I'm just stopping this class. Let's meet in the next class. So students, all of you be very careful. Actually the things going on around, and be careful. Don't roam around much. Now it's curfew also. So stay indoors. Okay. Take care. Bye.